We're here at the PHATT Audio Concepts headquarters for Insane TV. My name's Sam Pansino. Let's have a look at some of the stuff we've got cooking in the workshop today. Mention Insane TV for the month of June 2009 and receive a 15% discount on any head unit purchased from our store. But first, I've got something I've been wanting to show you guys for quite some time now, the Alpine Nitro. Let's have a look at this masterpiece. Something I just realized, I'm about to show you Alpine's infamous Dodge Nitro, but before I do, maybe I should put on some correct attire. Whoa, that's kind of freaky. Hey, what we have here is the infamous Alpine Dodge Nitro. Let's have a look at the car. We'll just have a quick run around the outside, have a look at what we've done, then we'll take a quick look inside. First up, as you can see, is the airbrushing. Alpine were going for a gothic theme, so it's got a bit of a Batman look without actually using the trademark Batman. You can see all the door handles have been shaved off. It has remote door openers. The mirrors have been changed as well. They're actually off a WRX. It's got the indicators embedded in the side of that as well, and it's been grafted to the original mirror mount. We have a look at the side skirts. The side skirts have had the side pipes grafted into them as well, and that's a full functioning exhaust system. They're not just there for good looks. It's also housing 24-inch by 10-inch wheels. They're absolutely monstrous. As we move forward, there's a little bit of grafting that went into this. This is the original Nitro flute, if you will. It's got the Alpine logo grafted into a perspex panel, and that actually lights up in blue as well. Okay, we've shaved the door handles. The way we get into the car is via a remote. We just hit the button, door pops open, and we're able to get inside. As we make our way forward, we get into the front bar setup as well. This is a full custom front bar. Now, this kit is all ABS plastic. It's not a fiberglass kit, so it's very flexible. It's almost like an original bar, basically. Bolts up beautifully. It did need a bit of fine line work around the sides, but yeah, this thing, when you see it rolling on the ground, it looks fantastic. We've also done a custom grille setup. These things normally, the Nitros have a big chrome grille covering the front of the car with a big crossbar in the middle. We shaved off the crossbar, just put a mesh through the front of it, and it looks very aggressive. So we're after that, get out of my way sort of look. You see this thing coming behind you, you'd want to move. As I was explaining earlier, you can see the WRX indicators grafted into the side here. So that's still the original Nitro mount. And we've just been able to weld it all up and make it look like it was meant to be there out of factory. They're electric mirrors as well, so the original electric mirror setup still works from the controllers inside the vehicle. Now also, the Alpine Nitro is based around Imprint. Imprint's Alpine's new tuning technology. Basically, with Imprint technology, you can make your car sound absolutely perfect, depending on what sort of staging you're after, and we'll get into that a bit later on about how it all works, but just simplified, you tune this car with a microphone, you end up with the best center image you can possibly get in the vehicle. You'll think you're live at a concert. Okay, now as we make our way to the tailgate, this is a bumper bar extension that's been grafted onto the original bumper bar, all with plastic welding. We've also grafted in the original reverse sensors and grafted in an Alpine reverse camera. We've put an aluminium plate up top just so that way it's got rid of all the little steps that they have on top there. We've tried to make it look very flush, very neat, and like it's meant to be there, the way we do things. Okay, to build a car of this caliber, it requires an expert team. We had the team at Alpine, which was Darren, Warren, and a couple of the other boys there. We had the team from Polo Bodyworks, which does all our panel work. We had our own team, which you'll get to meet them later on through the series. And if you have a look at what happens when a big expert team comes together, you can create a masterpiece. What we have here are the Alpine amplifiers. They're the PDX series. This is the PDX 1000. It's a 1000 watt RMS amplifier, and it feeds the Alpine Type X 12-inch subwoofer. So there's 1 amp per sub, so that amp runs that sub, and this amp runs that sub. I'm a big believer that every car should have a name, its own identity. Now, it could be a personal name or a car name, just something that separates your car from everything else for you. I'd like to introduce you to Mint XM. Mint XM for 2 reasons. Number 1, the color, duh, but number 2, look at it. It's mint. I love this car. Let's have a look in the boot. Open Sesame, Mariah. What we have here is 2 Alpine Type R subwoofers, a couple of Alpine amplifiers. One's a monoblock just for the subs, the other's a 4-channel for front and rears. My brother is a family man. He's going to carry his kids in the back, so he wanted some rear speakers. We're normally not a fan of rear speakers, but in this instance, we have to use them. Otherwise, the kids are just going to get droned out by bass. So basically, as a simple system, front, rear, subs, 2 amps. We have a battery mounted in the quarter panel. You can see all the nice wiring behind there. Being that it's an Optima, you can mount them sideways and there's no battery acid that's going to come falling out of it. There's a circuit breaker in the middle from Stinger. That way, in case we need to kill the audio system, we hit the red button in the middle, kills the power to the audio system instantly. We have the Alpine etched into the back of the glass. There's LEDs at the front and at the back that get captured into the etching. Now we etch it from behind, so that way when you rub your hand over the top, it's nice smooth glass. It's hardened glass, it's easy to clean, not like Perspex that can sometimes get a bit milky and scratchy. So we're at the stage where we've done our first assembly. We're now ready to add carpet into all the corners and start carpeting the back. So this thing's finally coming along really nice. And to say my brother's over the moon with it is an understatement. So I can't wait to have this thing finished, because it means I get back the Executor. Once again, cars should have names. One of mine's Tekken, the other one's Executor, and the future is Sub-Zero. Wait for that one. But back to the XM, we're at a stage where it's all up and running. I haven't got the interior in yet, but I basically want to have a listen to the vehicle before I put the interior in, and then put the interior in and have a listen again and see what different sounds I get, because of the seats are, going to be causing a few reflections, being that they're made from vinyl, and there's going to be a lot of reflections coming off the seats, the windows and everything else. And to sort of measure that, we can actually do that on a real-time analyzer. We can see what's going to be happening. But for a moment, I'm going to pretend I know absolutely nothing about car audio, and I want to speak to the expert, Brett, because Brett knows all about real-time analyzers. So let's go and speak to Brett. Brett!
Yeah.
Come here. It's time for the Brett Files. The Brett Files. The Brett Files. It's now time for the Brett Files.
Let's get ready to file. Okay. Hi, I'm Brett from PHATT Audio Concepts, and this is the Brett Files. Here we have our test bench. It has all the products on there that we need to go through a car and make sure that the thing is set up properly. We have things like our RTA, which is a PC-based RTA. We have things like our speaker phase tester. We have a clamp meter here so we can measure how much current is running through a system. But today I think we'll be talking about the RTA, the Real Time Analyzer.
I have a favour to ask. I need you to pretend, keyword. I'm going to pretend I know nothing about car audio, but I know I want my car to sound better.
Yes, okay.
I've come to you for a bit of assistance, because rumour has it you should get your car RTA'd. Now I know we're not talking about the Road Traffic Authority, we're talking about real-time analyzers.
We are talking about real-time analyzers. This is a real-time analyzer.
Wow, what's it do?
It basically will help you measure out all the whole frequency spectrum in your car.
Frequency spectrum, what's that?
Okay, well, put it simply, it's the bass, mid-range, treble in your car.
Ah, okay, you're talking about the whole sounds. Okay, gotcha. Remember, I'm stupid at the moment. Okay, so we've got all that sort of, you've told me what frequency spectrum is. What frequencies are we actually talking about here?
Okay, everything from 20 hertz up to 20 kilohertz, which is 20,000 cycles per second.
20,000 cycles a second. Are you talking about like a tweeter is moving in and out 20,000 times a second?
Exactly. That's why they're so fragile.
That's kind of cool and crazy at the same time. So what we're going to try and do here then is you're going to tell me that I've got some issues in my car, or if I have issues in my car?
Yeah, exactly. The RTA can help you do that by measuring what frequencies are missing, what frequencies there are too much of, and it'll help us tune it out later on.
That's provided I have an equalizer or some kind of tuning capability in my head unit or external processor?
Exactly.
Ah, well, how about you show me how it works?
Okay, well what we have here is the microphone. The microphone sits in the car and measures how much sound is actually getting to it at any particular time.
And what sort of sounds are you going to be playing through the system in order for that to work?
Okay, we actually use the Alpine F1 status disc. Track 24 to be exact, and it's a pink noise track.
I know pink noise.
Yeah, pink noise is the static you hear, like if you're in between radio stations, that sort of thing.